everybody. What's up?
I wasn't sure who was going to do it.
It was me. Hi. Welcome to episode 99. Guys, we are here. The penultimate episode before episode 100. Not the last. Episode 100 will not be the last one. No, then we hit season 2 of MMT.
We'll see how episode 100 goes.
Yeah. We have to go out. We do 100 episodes a season, so we'll do season 2 MMT, so get ready for that. I am Alexander Lamb, one of your hosts, joined with me this week by Chris.
That's right. Hello.
Brayden.
Hello.
And Steph.
Hello.
A bit weird this week because we've got kind of the alts here together.
All the alts.
Yeah. All the alts are here together.
It doesn't happen often that me and Steph are on a podcast together, but
But
it was only last week.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some riveting conversation. Podcast brought to you by McDonald's.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a day for all of us.
Yep.
We just got back from a press screening, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
I had to drive to Marion twice. Well, once.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that twice. You might explain that later.
I needed a camera charger for that one.
Okay, fair enough.
For battery charger.
And that was the only place that had one in stock?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then,
Okay,
So,
fair enough. Do we want to start with our
Yeah.
first out of our 4 topics?
Go.
The earliest one? Because that's going to be one of the biggest discussions we have. Do we want to start with that?
What's the earliest one?
The earliest one is the one that released on Thursday.
Okay. No, we'll go in order because we always started with the Marvel stuff first.
Okay.
So last time.
That's
So
true.
we'll head with...
We're back at Marvel Corner.
We'll go Friday.
Marvel Corner. Oh, there was a gap in Marvel Corner, but I do want to talk about... They did release an excellent behind-the-scenes documentary.
Haven't watched it.
Oh my God, it's so good. So Avengers Assembled is the name of their documentary series where they're doing behind-the-scenes looks at all the stuff that's coming out. So first episode it's like 40, 50 minutes, purely focused on the entirety of WandaVision. So the first part is all about the filming in front of a live studio audience for episode 1. It's super fascinating. Vision's blue. You might have seen memes going around online. They had to paint him blue so that his color theory actually worked in black and white. Sorry, there's a small rat running around.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's a cat in the box.
No rat.
It's actually a dog.
Cute little dog.
It's a doggy. Name's Ali. Hey, Ali.
Hello.
But yeah, so anyway, that was in the in-between week between WandaVision and what we're talking about today, Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1.
Which is, it's going to be a quick one because I don't feel like there's a few things to touch on, but
few things.
Not too much to talk. There's no theories for the show.
Spoilers for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1 if you haven't watched it already. Apparently it was the biggest premiere they've had on Disney Plus so far.
Speaking of Disney Plus, we just have to quickly rattle out some news. Luca is coming exclusively to Disney Plus.
Oh.
Exclusively?
Exclusively.
They're
to
doing
Disney.
a Soul.
It's not coming into theaters, no. Black Widow is getting a
Day and date.
Yeah, day and date like Raya did. Free Guy, Kingsman have been pushed back. There's one more in there that got pushed back. Shang-Chi got pushed back. I think that's it. That's all really talk about. Oh, and that Death on the Nile got pushed back as well.
Yep.
That's really the only news to talk about.
Yeah, they pushed everything back, and most of it's getting day and day release if it isn't being only released on there, which is a shame for Luca.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Oh well. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, biggest premiere on Disney Plus so far. Because I feel like it's only ever gonna get bigger in the sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, people who were coming into this expecting it to have game-changing stuff like what WandaVision's mystery was like, this isn't that. This was meant to come out before WandaVision. This is Marvel action to a T.
This is Winter Soldier, Civil War, continuation, stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
What have we got? Winter Soldier.
You guys haven't seen this?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So we won't go
We're the
too
only
much
two who have seen
into it, but it was just the main takeaway to this. It was just really nice to catch up with Sam and Bucky and see what's happening with them. It gives these two actors two relatively sideline characters, maybe more Sam than Bucky sidelined.
Yeah,
Bucky
so far.
Bucky
They've set up some
Civil
stuff.
War basically dedicated to him.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, Sam's been very much in the background for a while.
It's nice to see Anthony Mackie be able to
oh my God, he's
play,
awesome.
act.
Yeah, and he's excellent in this. He's so good. We're seeing a side of the whole Avengers world that they have where like they point fact of Tony Stark isn't around anymore. So what did y'all do for money? Like, because Sam Wilson is a human being with human problems and he's not some god or some otherworldly being.
They basically discuss, hey, these guys don't get paid to do this. So when the Falcon tries to go get a loan, he's got no income.
And another thing, banks have completely fucked people who disappeared in the blip.
You've got no fight. You don't
have any records for the past 5 years. And he's like, yeah, I wonder why. And they're like, we had to change our circumstances for like the blip for when that happened. We had to change all our rules, and so they're way tougher. And it's like, this is this is a horrible world to live in now.
And then you go to the Winter Soldier side, and it's all about him dealing with his PTSD, because obviously he went from fighting a war to being frozen to being pulled out to fight a new war
To being frozen, fighting to
and
frozen,
now
to fighting to
there was
frozen.
a part of Infinity War, so now he's kind of dealing with, okay, well, it's the first time in my life I'm like have not fighting a war right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I do?
He doesn't have Captain America either.
Mm.
So then
That's the other thing they explore is what does the world do now that Captain America isn't around?
US agent apparently.
US agent, which I wasn't expecting in the first episode.
Yeah, my goodness. So this episode ends with the drop. I think we all knew it was happening when
Oh, there's a beautiful moment where Falcon, Sam does this speech at like a memorial service
The
for
Smithsonian.
Steve. At the Smithsonian. It's like the unveiling of like a new Captain America exhibit. And it's basically like a
he
small
basically
memorial for him.
hands the shield over there. So like the whole thing is like
It looks like he could take it.
He doesn't want to be Captain America because he doesn't think that he has
He's
what
ready
it takes.
for it.
So it's ready. So Steve wanted him to be Captain America,
Mm.
but instead he goes and gives the shield to the Smithsonian for it to be on display.
Okay.
And then the US government go, cool, we'll do that. Until Sam walks away, and then
Sam
they go,
goes
we've
and,
got
like-
other ideas for the shield. We'll
Sam
give it to
goes
our
and
own guy.
Catches up to. I have a theory
Ah.
about that. He goes and catches up with his family, so you see his entire extended family and
Uncle
learn
Sam?
about his life. And oh my god, they're so good. They call him Uncle Sam, which is hilarious. And so then we jump between Bucky at like therapy and hanging out with this guy who you learn why he's hanging out with him during the episode. I won't spoil that because that's a really cool
Yeah.
moment.
It's interesting to see how that'll play out.
Yeah, and then it jumps back to his problems with his family, not having enough money to do stuff and everything, him not getting paid. And then at the end, we get this reveal of the US. He's watching it on TV, and the US government are like, "We're gonna. Would you like to show you
The
our
new
new Captain America?" And Sam's face is just like, "Oh fuck."
What did I do? Yeah.
He's like, I've ruined everything. And this guy comes out and he looks like the worst. US
So-
agent is a horrible character.
So
Okay, I'm
he looks
excited.
like he'd be like, Sam, it's just a word. You can say it, I can say it.
Honestly, yeah.
He looks like, why can't I say it, Sam? You say it. It's
I
just
have
a word.
friends. I have
Yeah.
friends who are.
He looks like that.
Yeah.
He looks
Oh,
like a
no.
white Karen,
Mm.
a male Karen. He's male Karen. He's married.
He's a Brad.
Okay.
yeah. He's a Brad.
Well,
He's a
that went in
Brad.
a totally different direction to what I thought. That's really interesting,
Yeah.
actually.
So he comes out. I don't know the actor
So
who plays him.
Let me find it.
Wyatt Russell. He's been in 22 Jump Street. Did we all watch 22 Jump Street?
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
the guy that Channing Tatum kind of has a bromance with in that movie?
Oh, Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's son.
Have you seen
Kurt
Black
Russell's
Mirror?
son? Yes.
Do you know the one where he's like in the virtual reality world and he's kind of like
That's
hitting the
him.
mold?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That's him in
I
the
know
new.
him.
They've said
it
your
looks
new
nothing like
Captain-
him.
They've
Oh,
said I
really?
know because he's shaved and
Him?
everything, and like it's crazy. It's a whole new costume. It's not the Captain America costume because
Yeah.
he's not Captain America. They're like the new Captain America.
He's US
His
agent.
US agent, which is
Yeah. It's
don't
bad.
talk to me about the dumbest
Yeah.
names in Marvel history because it's one of them. He's basically whereas Captain America was doing his own thing and he was vigilante hero. Like the government would ask him to help with something, he would help, but he would do it on his own terms. This is government official. If they don't tell me to do something, I don't touch it. If they tell me to do something, I will absolutely annihilate anyone in my way. He basically gets to be the show pony that Captain America was in First Avenger, where he's like going and doing all the stage shows and stuff.
He's a yes man for the government.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's their big front man. In the trailer, you see him run into a football stadium, and like he's part of hype, and everyone's like getting hyped for this
He's
new
like a
Captain America.
caricature of yeah.
Yeah, he's basically parody, but he's the worst. And now it's a case of you see, I don't think it's his actual shield. I think it's a fake shield.
You
I
reckon?
think his actual shield's in the Smithsonian still.
Okay.
And then you don't put something in a glass case in the first episode if you're not going to break that out of that glass case in episode 3.
That's very true.
Okay.
So yeah, overall, just good episode. Looking forward to what's happening.
Opens with a wingsuit fight through a canyon where a guy wingsuits into a helicopter, then that helicopter starts crashing, and they wingsuit from that helicopter into another helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very Marvel
Okay.
action.
Very Marvel. Looks good for
Okay.
a TV show.
Well,
And the new Falcon is really cool as well. He's really funny.
I'm sure he was. I like Falcon. He's got a good sense of humor.
you know, you're mentioning Marvel shows, Marvel movies, just everywhere. Black Widow's got a show. He's got a show. She's got a show.
Everyone's got
and
a show.
I start to think, Come on, come on, guys.
Oh, you.
But then every time it sounds kind of
Yeah,
like
cool.
this is new,
I'm the
new
same.
look, new image. Like WandaVision's very different. This, or I was already thinking no, and now you guys got me kind of
Yeah.
thinking, okay, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
stuff-
subverted my
yeah,
expectations.
yeah.
The stuff that's most interesting that we're going to see is their separate home lives,
Yeah.
and then how they're dealing with that as they have to go out on missions and do stuff together. And it'll be interesting to see how they come together because they haven't done that yet.
So, do we just want to go straight into Tom and Jerry?
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys
Quickly
can have
do
fun
that.
with that.
we should. I was going to
Steph,
segue as
you
well.
missed out immensely.
Yeah.
On Tom and
You
Jerry.
did,
But
you
you
did.
but you got to see Kong.
Big
so-
time.
I was in
Hit
the
2021
I was in,
film.
like basically in Sydney in the floods in like a monsoon, and I don't know what I'd prefer at this point.
Probably that. You have
Yeah?
the freedom.
Okay.
Floods. Yeah.
There
How
was escape from the monsoon.
Did
and
they
to get a plane?
Did they put the heater on in the theater so that, or did they even show it? Did they even do the show?
Oh.
Did you go to the show?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Okay,
I went.
cool.
Yeah, I went.
Was it weird, like sitting in a pool of water, or?
Because I was
quite
soaked
that
watching
bad.
Tom and Jerry.
Uh,
Tom and Jerry, everyone. So Braden, Chris, and I went to go see Tom and Jerry.
Yes, we got invited to this one.
Got
didn't we?
invited
a few
to
That's
tickets,
nice.
A few tickets as well.
Oh, we got a, yeah, we got a whole road of tickets.
Did
so,
you
yeah.
use them all up?
No, we had two. that
Almost.
We had
didn't
two
use.
left.
Two spares.
I had to
Two
walk
spares,
up and be
two
like, oh, look, two of the people couldn't come. And then we walked into the cinema and no one else came to the
spares.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
all-
much as
all
the
the-
COVID marshal thought the cinema was going to be full,
Yeah.
it was not.
All the
How
other
can we just
press screening
can we
invited
just,
people.
like shit on event cinemas for a second? Like,
Oh my god!
I know. Like, cool, we get to go to the movies, but it's so ridiculous that I can go to an AFL football game that has 75% capacity and be shoulder to shoulder next to people in sections, but we go to the movies that have they've already half the capacity,
Yeah,
and then they still have the audacity to be like, sit 1.5 away.
You're
Even
in a
Hoyt
group.
Cinemas lets you,
You can
sit
sit with-
next to
yeah.
your like the rest of your
you
party.
come in
Yeah.
in a group. You all arrived in the same car.
Yeah.
You've all been.
Yeah.
You're all
Well,
within. Even if you're thinking in the thoughts of bubbles, like social bubbles and
Yeah.
everything. we
Chris
are
and
in
I
each other's
snuggle at
bubble.
night.
And
Like-
exactly
And
right.
that's just you and your group. Let alone in the line, we were shoulder to shoulder
Yeah.
with all the people we were not allowed to sit next to.
yeah,
the
all 20
randoms.
of them.
And then we had they had free drinks for the screening.
Yep.
And they're just out in tubs and ice.
Yeah.
And you go and you,
You
grab
go
it
and everyone's
yourself.
grabbing
so
them and everything.
everybody is completely mixed.
If they're-
What should we say?
If there are any
If someone's got
Americans-
COVID, we've all got
there are any
COVID.
what?
With
If they're-
completely mixed circles, and then you may not sit next to each other, and a child may not sit on his mother's lap.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was
You
ridiculous.
will
That
sit
was,
when they wouldn't
yeah,
let
we
their
turned
kids.
around. So legitimately, we turned around and we saw this family went to sit together, like you would.
Like a young
And,
child and a mum.
You keep a seat between your group and another person's group, like anywhere else.
But she wouldn't let the mum sit next to a young child.
The
Like,
woman
not,
was like-
not like 11 years old. We're talking about 5 years old. Or
yeah, and
4.
they also
Yeah,
had a
nah.
pram with them as well. It was
Yeah.
like, what the?
And the
fuck are
COVID
you
lady's like,
doing?
so they go to sit next to each other. And the COVID lady, she was rough. The one we had today was all right. But
Let's
that
say
lady
this as
was
well.
like,
We're in Adelaide, South Australia, where we're not really having to stress about COVID
I was
at
gonna
the
say,
moment.
should
We're
say-
doing
any-
super well.
any
Yeah,
Americans
there's
are
no-
like these
no-
fucking
yeah.
people.
These
They're talking about
disgusting no
they're
mask
talking
bullshit.
about
Yeah.
sitting 1.5 away from each other in a movie theater where
Yeah.
we don't even get to go to the movies.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
take
they
it
But
do.
there
down
should
to
be some
that.
leniency. I think there needs to be some leniency or some like adaptation there,
Now.
like, you
Well,
can-
it's just the fact that we've already broken the kind of
Yeah.
social distancing, and then we go in there and it's like, no, now we're enforcing.
it's just
it.
an arbitrary rule. It's going to make no difference.
It's the only place I've been to in the last few months that I've been
Still
like,
does it.
fuck you. No, so like that was ridiculous that they
The,
the,
the
mum
family
couldn't
one
sit
was
next to her
so
daughter.
sad.
But
How
I
was the movie?
I think the way we're
This was
really
the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, this is more interesting than the movie.
I think the way they got
around.
around with it, she's like, can the kid sit on my lap then? Because I need to sit next to my child.
Yeah.
I think the child hadn't, like, maybe there was something
I was
health
going to say, that
issues
was a
with the
little
child.
kid.
Hey, a 5-year-old child in dark cinema, the parent's going to sit with them. That's
Yeah,
like,
that's-
yeah,
Can I
it's
That was
also say-
unreasonable. Anyway, Tom
Just
and Jerry.
for reference, I brought up info on Tom and Jerry, and I saw a photo of it, and I instantly went, oh.
I
This-
hated Tom and Jerry.
This
I'll
was
come
not a
out
good
and say-
movie, folks.
Let's get on to Tom and Jerry.
So Tom and Jerry, hit cartoon characters from the
Hanna-Barbera.
that era.
Are they Hanna-Barbera?
Hanna-Barbera.
Oh well, yeah, Hanna-Barbera, WB, they're all owned by the same
Yogi
animal.
Bear.
right.
Brought us such things as the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's right. They're Warner Brothers. I got you.
Yep.
With you.
So everyone knows them for their hit
Oh, fuck, we're gonna
3-minute
get-
animated shorts where Tom chases Jerry around and they get into hijinks.
And then
Yeah,
Jerry
they're
fucks
fine.
up Tom.
yeah,
That's how it happens.
and that
Yeah,
and
usually.
they're 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it. You put them in
Hour
a film for
41
an hour
minute.
41, it does not work.
Especially when you just try and paint these human characters in the movie that are not real people, don't seem
So
anything like
separated.
real people. They don't have real motivations.
Mm.
There's no reality to the people in the film, and they just do not seem real, likable, or
They're
anything.
so surface level, really. There's nothing to them.
Yeah.
They don't even have like, we saw a movie tonight where like at least like the characters, which weren't great, weren't even good, awful really, but at least they had one characteristic that the movie just the scriptwriter went, that's them,
Yeah.
and we'll make them like that for the whole movie.
And that's
This-
their motivation
yeah,
as well.
And this movie, Tom and Jerry didn't even have that. It didn't even have that basic level of characterization. And this movie, it hurt.
I mean, look, stands
Jesus.
out for me is
It's killed Brayden.
Yeah. Chloe Grace
Moretz.
Moretz.
Really? Stand out?
No, sorry. The standout moment for
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of how shit the characters were.
Okay, good.
Is she's introduced as she's working a job. That's we kind of know.
She's got
She's a
clothes on
delivery
top.
delivering
girl.
linen. She's delivering linen.
She's
That's
a
That's exciting.
so she's an app. She's
Riveting.
someone who
Kids
works
love
for
it.
one of these like Uber type apps where you just deliver whatever shit that someone wants you to deliver.
Kids love
I
linen.
didn't even catch that.
Kids love linen.
She just delivers whatever you want her to
Yeah.
deliver. Okay.
This is
Anyway,
a kids
so-
movie, by the way, and I don't think I ever heard a kid laugh in the film.
No.
throughout
There was
watching
not one cinema laugh at all.
Oh, no.
She runs into Tom, just a little bit of Tom and Jerry, so she kind of visually sees who they are, and that's about it. And then she's like on the phone to her boss, and her boss is like, "You stuffed up," and she's like, "No, I need this job. I'll do anything. I'll do this. I'll do this. Like I need this job." She's fighting for this job, and you're like, "Oh, like she, you
She
know,
needs work.
She really needs this." And then the guy's like, "I don't think this is right for you."
I don't think it's right for
and
you at
she replies, "Yeah, I don't think it is. You know what? I guess I quit." And she hangs up.
Oh no.
Michael Pena. Michael
Oh,
Pena.
no.
I don't know if
I
he's
was like,
using his real
huh?
accent in the film or he's just like up playing.
all. He jumps between
Yeah.
constantly.
And
He
the
goes between
highlight.
his natural voice and then this other.
Incredibly stereotypical.
Oh my
Mexican,
God, so
like
much.
almost
Oh,
a
no.
Mexican
He says that?
cartoon character.
No, I have to get it up. I
Yeah.
have to get it up.
Is is like the idea of Tom and Jerry being the only cartoons in the film? Is
Nah,
that like
every
Other
animal,
animals.
every animal's
animal
cartoon.
is.
what?
Yeah.
So it starts with an
I-
extensive pigeon hip hop sequence.
Oh, I
we
don't
did.
wanna-
Okay, the
There
music.
there is a pigeon who
Raps.
talks at one point when it isn't singing, like mouthing along to popular hip hop songs you might know from things like TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Are we ready for me
Voiced
to
by
play?
the
I hate
director
this.
of the film in the one
Are
sequence
we,
it
are
does.
we ready for me to play Michael Pena's
Oh,
peak
no.
acting?
Okay.
What is Jerry doing here? It's awkward with all the horrible things he said about you. And you're not fit.
So
It was worse
bad.
at some points. The accent was stronger.
Yeah, the accent
And
was.
then
No,
again,
it's just
it ebbed
him
and flowed,
going.
It was
It's
so
just,
different.
oh no, what's Jerry doing here?
I don't
Yeah.
want to even.
Yeah, there's zero plot to this film at all.
There's a wedding.
It's
I
not a
like they
good
kept
family
mentioning
film.
things, which I'm like, oh, that's going to be the human side of this, and it just wasn't.
Yeah,
They mentioned the ring.
Yeah,
never
they're like,
comes
oh,
up
the
again.
ring's missing. The ring turns up.
Yeah.
rings
Oh,
just.
They don't
yeah.
even show the characters finding, like, happy to see it again.
Yeah. If
Like,
you-
it's just, they just have
Yeah, and the movie resorts to such cheap, like, things. Like, oh, you know, this is from another film. You know that it's gonna. It's driving on like things you already know to make. They're trying to make this film good.
I realized
Yeah.
it references Batman specifically, Batman and Joker. It
Yeah.
it falls on Batman and Joker 3 times. First sequence is with the rat who's showing Jerry the apartment, which is a glove box. He says something about Batman. It's like, all right, cool, haha, get it, Batman. Before that, there's a poster in. You guys didn't pick on this. You might have. I looked
I
at
was
you.
gone. in the first
There's
5
a
minutes.
poster which is a parody of Joker 2019 with a dog in clown makeup that says "put on a happy face." That got a giggle out of me because I was like, "Oh yeah, that's funny."
Yeah.
And then later on, you get the extensive Tom as cardboard Batman.
Funniest part in the movie.
Yeah, honestly, it was the only part that made me go, and it was only because they committed to it so hard that he does the moon thing.
Yeah,
It goes up
yeah.
in front of the moon and makes the symbol. And that was the only bit where I went,
There was a random, like, probably a mother in the audience that really lost it at that.
Oh my
like,
God, bless.
it really touched
because
her.
she probably saw Batman 89 back in the cinema
Yeah, true.
and was like, oh, I saw that. But this film was just shocking.
Yeah.
So you
it's a-
don't recommend, not even as a family film.
I gave it half a star.
How
No.
did the family feel about it?
Okay, so
Okay, see, this totally contradicts what I said in my review.
yeah, look.
We brought Chris's boss and
we did.
nephew, niece along.
Peter, if you're listening, hello.
Thank you.
And anyone else from work. But
It's like
Yeah.
Uncle Ben when Peter comes up to me. He's like, Peter.
Peter.
So kids liked it.
Anyway,
Man, I really
Kids
hope
liked
I
it.
really hope they don't read my
So
review. though.
that from the family
What
perspective,
was your review?
Oh, I said that.
your review.
I said my review that I even think kids are too smart to enjoy this film.
No, I agree with that though.
yeah,
Like
and
I do agree.
I can
with
get
that.
into more of that. But you look, the family report is that it was enjoyable for the kids. They enjoyed the Tom and Jerry action, which I guess is what the movie was for, because all the human parts were the major waste of time.
All maybe 15, 20 minutes of
Ye-
the Tom and Jerry action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of,
which is
That's
probably
what-
how much there is.
That's what
Yeah.
in the
got
whole film.
That's
Of
what got my half
which-
a star.
of
yeah,
which
yeah.
there
Tom and
is.
Jerry.
We should also mention there is zero character growth for anyone in this
No.
film.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just weird because Tom and Jerry don't talk. Every other animal in this universe talks except for Tom and Jerry.
Mm.
Yep.
And I know they don't talk in the cartoon, but
Yeah.
it gets to a point where it goes, if they could talk, then maybe they could have character growth
Mm.
and
or
and
something.
and something to them. But
Like
they don't.
even
That's
if,
why they get sidelined so much because they stuck. I know it's sticking with the original source,
Yeah.
but the reason why they're sidelined throughout the film in the movie called Tom and Jerry
Mm.
is because they don't give them the option to have any growth or character around them because they don't talk.
When they have to help progress the plot along, it relies on Chloe Grace Moretz to play charades with them, which
Yeah.
just stops
So
the
dumb.
whole movie from happening.
Anyway, are we allowed to stop talking about Tom and Jerry?
Yes, we
and
can.
Talk about
Yeah,
sure.
we pretty much can. Yeah.
what do we want to talk about next?
Do we want to talk about the big
Well,
boy?
we went to another screening.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll go to the two big boys.
Yeah,
The two.
we'll
big
leave
boys.
the highlight at the
Oh,
end.
no.
Yeah,
fair
exactly. We
enough.
wouldn't.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, that's just we're fresh off of it.
All right. Well, look, Tom and Jerry. You said what, half a star?
Half a star.
All right. What did you give what we saw this evening, Alex?
I think we're too generous with the score we talked about in the car, Alex.
Yeah.
I'm tossing between 1.5
Yep.
and 2.
Mm.
Well, for
I
those
think
of
I'm
you at
pushing
home
more to 1.5.
Yeah.
that don't know, we saw the
Godzilla versus.
Epic.
I've already given away my review though. My star rating. Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh.
This is our Godzilla
Godzilla
vs Kong
versus
review. The
Kong.
first maybe 2 minutes will be spoiler free. We'll give our initial thoughts and the overall thoughts, and then there will be spoilers galore.
All right, are we going to do a
No,
quick
if there's
cut? I know
anything
you
we
just
need
did
to
that, but we're
spoil.
going to do it one more time quickly, and we're going to do the official cut.
So we went and saw Godzilla vs Kong. The first 2 minutes of this review will be completely spoiler free. No stress if you haven't seen the film. If you still want to watch the film after a spoiler free review, feel free to stick around.
your money.
Or stop if you want to watch the film. Or maybe don't. You know, you
I
don't have
envy
to.
Americans with HBO Max because in a week they just get to watch for subscription,
just
no
watch it at
extra
home.
costs.
Yeah,
Which
and then
would've
we'll,
been great.
We'll get into spoilers then, but we're going to give our initial thoughts if you still want to see the movie. We'll see. Alex, thoughts on Godzilla vs Kong?
All right, so I was like easily the most excited one going into this because I like
Easily.
2014's Godzilla
and
and I like Kong Skull Island. I
And?
think and Godzilla 2 is fine. Like no, Godzilla 2 is average at best. Like
Average, okay.
I can watch it to get through it, and I did rewatch it just so I can be fresh up for this film. Waste of time, but I did it.
All right, so
And-
good contrast. You've seen all the lore.
Seen all the lore.
You're in.
Yeah.
Me, nothing.
You seen Kong?
I've seen Kong.
You,
Sorry.
so you saw Kong. Steph
Everyone
and
knows
I,
who Kong
I've
is.
seen, we've seen nothing.
none of
Okay,
it
Yeah.
they're
at
the
all.
opposite.
What do you guys think?
I went into it being like, okay, how much of this am I going to be able to pick up on what happened in the last ones? There was only one thing I can't remember. Like I was like, what the
Want
fuck
me to
is
explain
that?
it to you?
We'll get to that in a minute because
Alright,
it's
cool.
technically a spoiler for one moment. I really thought this thing was nothing. There was absolutely
It
nothing
was
to
just
this
garbage.
film.
It was garbage.
It
really.
was. I went in hoping they take the Fast and Furious approach, or Hobbs and Shaw at
Yeah.
least,
Yeah.
where it was like, we're not going to take this seriously. It's going to be fun, over the top action.
Dumb fun.
And this fell into the trap that all of these fucking movies fall into, where they have the thing that we pay to go see, which is Godzilla and Kong fighting, but we only get maybe 30 minutes of that, and instead we focus on these human characters that they don't develop. They
But
throw
people
in
really
there.
want some plot.
Yeah,
so
it's like when they make a horror movie and they put
You
in
hardly
characters.
see the.
Yeah, and they put in these characters and have you spend most of the time with these characters like who are just there to die. That's what this movie is.
They
these
just
characters,
did and
but they
said
don't die.
nothing.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't care.
They
Spoiler.
were
Fuck
so
this.
two
I don't-
dimensional.
Oh my god. Like, okay, overall, what we think, like, just quickly, so we can
Yeah.
actually talk spoilers. I thought, I'm giving it a 1. It was.
I'm giving it a 1.5.
Half.
Half.
Tom and Jerry's was better for me.
Really?
I'm
Okay,
still
I
tossing up,
liked
but
it.
probably 1.5.
I found the
wanna give it
last
1.
30 minutes of this film.
That's the
There's
one
a
part.
chunk. Yeah. So the last.
Well,
30
no, not the whole 30 minutes. One chunk of the 30-minute period.
There's
I
a
liked.
part in the middle where I enjoyed, and then something happens after that which killed it for me. And then there's the first 20 minutes of the last 30 minutes.
There you go.
I was like, this is what I actually been waiting to see. It sucks I had to sit through all that other bullshit
Yeah.
to get to here, but this is still cool. And yes, I'm kind of glad I'm in the biggest cinema in Adelaide to watch this part here.
Yeah.
Other than that, this film is a complete waste of time. As someone who likes the other ones,
You liked him, yeah.
this one is garbage. This is just a really embarrassing.
Attempt.
It's the Avengers.
Embarrassing
It's pretty much
is
the
the way.
Avengers of this cinematic universe they've been making since 2014,
Yeah.
and it's like no one cared.
Yeah. Like I was like, who wrote this? I was like, what are the humans doing?
It's got
Like-
it's just.
Should we call out who wrote it?
Yeah, who wrote it?
I'm going to have a look.
What
I
are
know
you
Adam-
doing? Like what
Adam
were you trying
Wingard
to do?
directed
Let's
it,
let's
and
get
he
into
didn't write
spoilers
anything.
here, because you just mentioned something that I hadn't even processed until you just said it. No one we watched in this film died,
Yeah, except
other
for the
than
bad-
one bad girl side character and her dad.
Yeah.
Who?
And
So
the Asian guy.
So and the Asian, so the two
token.
bad guys
Yeah.
and the main bad guy's daughter, they're the only 3 who died.
They got crushed
So-
in the
They got crushed
uncrushable
in the
car.
hand.
The
In the,
villains.
the crushed in the uncrushable car. Can we get into spoilers so I can?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Let's.
so
Jesus
I just want to
Christ.
throw out Adam Wingard, who directed such hits as Death Note 2017,
Oh.
Blair Witch 2016, The
Okay.
Guest starring Alexander Skarsgård,
Oh no.
VHS,
Oh.
The ABCs of Death,
Blair Witch 2016 is all I needed to hear.
yeah, and
Oh,
Your Next.
ABCs of Death is alright.
Your Next is a film I enjoy. It's a very enjoyable home invasion, like horror film.
So he's a horror director.
He is
Yeah.
a
I'm
horror
getting
director,
from this.
which is just super weird because why get him? This is what WB do, and it worked for them with Kong, and this is what Marvel do, and Marvel normally stick the landing with this, but they did
When
it
they
with
bring
Kong,
in like
it worked
genre
Kong.
directors.
They bring in these fucking indie directors and give them such a big tentpole film. Do you know why they do that? So what? Because these are indie directors who don't have the confidence to speak up to a studio, so the studio can control them and then make the shitty film that the studio want to make.
Makes sense.
It
and
is,
if
it
they
is
don't-
incredible that the Nolan films worked.
And when they get a director, which we'll talk about after, can you reset that camera?
Yep.
When they get a film that
Nailed that.
yeah, when they get a film that a director who has a vision and is very outspoken, tell me when you're doing it.
Done.
All right. When they get a director who won't succumb to the machine, I'm going to call them the fucking machine.
Cool.
When they have a director that won't conform to what they want to do, they fire them or they just chop up their vision. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work with this film. I'm getting mad. Sorry, I'm getting mad.
Can I bring
No,
up?
we should
Can
all
I
get
bring
mad.
up? Can I bring up one thing that makes me mad? 5 writers worked on this film.
Yeah.
Oh no.
5. 2 credited for screenplay and 3 credited for
Yeah.
story.
And they never spoke to each other throughout the entire writing process.
I don't think they all worked on the same script.
They wrote the same dialogue, like the same conversation without ever.
Yeah,
coming together.
honestly.
Yeah, the writing was bad. The
Right,
characters were
atrocious.
two-dimensional.
Yeah.
There was just no point to the plot was ever changing.
There
There was nothing good
Alright,
about
the biggest thing with the motivation is what was the actor, the Swedish actor?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander's his character at the start is in a basement, does not care,
That was Alexander Skarsgård.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Even comprehend that.
he doesn't care. He's disinterested.
Yeah, he's out.
And then in the next scene, like they convince him, sure, but in the next scene, he's leading the charge.
He's like-
the main.
he's their
guy.
Ric
Has a
Flag.
shave,
He
has
is
a
in-
haircut,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to go.
and
He's ready.
he's pushing. He drives that expedition.
Yeah.
the one that he was totally disinterested in.
Yeah.
and was just gonna
Had to be
a-
convinced to even be a part of.
Yeah, and he was just a part of it, and then he's the driving force.
And he's like, we have to be able
yeah,
to
and
do
he's like,
this.
we're taking Kong.
What stakes do you have in this?
Yeah, I
dude?
I feel
didn't
like they
care
meant
5
that, I
seconds
feel
ago.
like they wanted to have a character arc for him where he was scared of Kong when he's on the boat.
They
you can see
did
he's scared.
try that.
And then at the end, it's like, oh, I'm heroic now because I will
Yeah.
drive a ship over Kong, then run away.
He's
Yeah.
gonna restart his heart with
Yep.
the ship, which was the
Jesus
whole
Christ.
thing was just-
Okay, so do you want to talk about your first disappointment in this film, which was the end of the first confrontation between Kong and Godzilla?
Oh, my
Oh.
first
You take that.
disappointment for the film
Okay.
began.
No, I mean, in regards to the
yeah,
fighting,
the major disappointment.
because the fact that the fight scenes were not incredible like they should have been.
Oh, they were. Some of them were incredible.
Some bits of them.
They were really
Beats.
good, but I mean, it
The
was
start of the final
They couldn't
confrontation
save. They
was
couldn't.
good.
They couldn't
Mm.
save. Oh no,
Hong
I
Kong-
thought the boat fight was good until they go, "Let's play dead," and then Kong goes, "Oh yeah," and they're dead. And
My
it's like,
whole
yeah, they all just pretend to be dead.
my whole thought process for the entirety that they were in the middle of the ocean and when they were up in the Antarctic was they just want to show off how they spent all their budget on making Kong look wet and look covered in snow.
Yeah.
So like my
That was
thing-
the whole thing.
And
My-
Kong looks sad picking up snow.
Yeah.
That got me.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
got me.
So like also when Kong jumps from boat to boat, I just think those boats wouldn't survive that.
Oh
when
no,
he
those
jumps-
boats are fucked.
Because he jumps to the aircraft carrier, but in the middle he like lands on like
A-
just a cruiser.
Like a
Yeah.
battleship.
and he destroys it. Like I'm just thinking, he just killed 20 people in that room.
20?
He's our
that he
hero.
crushed.
He killed that whole boat.
If the ship sunk,
Yeah.
hundreds.
But
yeah.
guys, when he threw the jet at at Godzilla, the guy escaped, so he's fine.
Oh yeah, and then he
Oh,
went and landed
Okay.
on Godzilla after his parachute.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
the one
God.
thing you're thinking is how many humans are dying here,
All
and then they
humans.
take the time for him to throw a jet at Godzilla and to show the pilot eject.
Yeah.
So no one died. It's okay.
No, it's okay. The
No
guy's
one died.
safe.
It's
He
like,
ejected.
what about when Kong landed on said helicarrier or jet carrier,
Aircraft
and
carrier.
wherever he landed, anyone underneath him just insta
Yeah.
dead.
Dude,
And then meanwhile, I was going to say we've got the crackpot trio.
meanwhile,
The
We've got the
Crackpot
Crackpot
trio.
trio.
Oh my God, yes, the
I didn't
conspiracy
care about Millie
theorists.
Bobby
Oh,
Brown.
no.
Julian Dennison was completely wasted.
What did they do? They didn't do
they were
anything.
there. It's like
Nothing.
you've got
No, okay. So what they did was they referenced something I assumed from the old film
which
with
was that?
the skull thing.
Oh,
I didn't know
so
what that,
that
was.
was
They
the
told
end-
us that
That,
basically.
Yeah.
that was
I didn't know what that was.
post-credit scene. So Godzilla 2 is Godzilla basically fighting King Ghidorah,
Yeah.
which is Monster Zero.
Oh
with
no,
the three-headed
sorry.
dragon.
You're talking about the actual skull. When they get into the transport thing to go to Hong Kong,
Oh,
which is bonkers, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it's just a
Skull
they
random,
Crawlers.
reference, yeah. What the fuck?
Those
just
are
a
from
random
Kong Skull
hyperloop.
Island.
Ah,
Those
okay,
are the
okay.
creatures on Skull Island that Kong fights and the human have to be scared of.
But yeah, there's a random super advanced hyperloop.
Like
And
Elon
going-
Musk
running
should be
under
dead.
the planet.
worked on
Doesn't
this.
explain that.
They're like they purely needed a way for these three insignificant characters to get all the way from Florida to Hong Kong
Oh,
without
God.
it being a
Yeah.
whole deal.
And they're like, also, they built Mechagodzilla. They can build Mechagodzilla.
Oh,
now.
we haven't even
They
got
can
into
build
that.
a
Fuck.
hyperloop halfway across the planet underground.
So-
that no one
These
knows
guys
about.
are amazing. They're cybernetic stuff.
Chris,
Also, they're a cybernetic company. I didn't see one cybernetic thing other than the psychic link
Well-
which isn't even cybernetic. It's actually just using the skull's DNA.
You tell anyone that Mechagodzilla's in this movie and they think it's Cyborg Godzilla, surely. Like,
Oh.
not
So-
its own creation.
so
Like,
yeah, yeah. So you knew Mechagodzilla was in the film.
Yeah, and I thought,
I didn't.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the only thing I knew going into this film was that in interviews that I for some reason saw a quote from, they said there are two major fights between Godzilla and Kong, at which point I went, wow, you just said that out loud? Okay. And then the other thing was they said, and there will be a winner. And I went, bullshit.
Yeah, and technically there was did Godzilla win? I guess.
Alright,
That-
well, look.
Kong died pretty much.
That sums up the way I want to sum up this movie, which is just it lies to you. It
Mm.
lies to you
Yeah.
at every corner. The start of the movie, they tell you Godzilla wants to kill Kong. The first time they fight, Godzilla has a chance to kill Kong,
all chance to kill
walks
Kong.
away.
Yeah, because like there can
Yeah.
only be
That's
one
actually, you
alpha
make a really good
titan.
Yeah.
point. That's
Mm.
exactly what it is.
They,
And
they
they
touch on
tell-
this
yeah.
in Godzilla 2, where Godzilla's like the alpha titan.
Right.
And the
He's
big complaint with
big boy.
Godzilla 2 was because by then we know that this is a shared universe.
Yeah, so
Kong's-
all these other people are here.
Kong's out here. And then everyone's like, so what happens is Ghidorah comes up, becomes the alpha, and then all these other
Mm.
kaiju or titans, whatever, appear and start wreaking havoc.
It's like Mothra and shit, isn't it?
Yeah. Rodan, Mothra,
Mm.
a rhino, I'm pretty sure, a turtle. I don't know.
Sure.
And
Kaiju
then,
are fucking weird, man.
and then everyone's criticism was, well, Kong's in this universe. Kong's the title. Where's Kong when all
Why
these
wasn't
titans are coming
he
out?
here?
And the beginning of this film, they reference that. So that
Is that
cleared
why
that
he
up.
wanted to get out?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything of why anyone did anything. to
Yeah,
this
no.
movie.
There's no
No.
reason for anything.
Because
Yeah.
every time the movie told me something, it wasn't True.
No.
It does the thing that is bad practice when you're writing something.
I
And
got
it
really
does
sad.
it does the opposite. Oh no, it does the same thing as Tom and Jerry actually. It assumes the audience is the dumbest
Yeah.
member of the
It's
audience.
trying to trick
Yeah.
you the whole time.
Yeah.
The entire time it is trying to pull one over on you
The
and
Las
be
Vegas thing, especially.
it's like, oh man, we have to call back to this one line that we made and we have to make it absurdly clear that we are calling back to that one thing we referenced back there.
I honestly, at the first 30 minutes of the film happened, and I was just so like, I was just gutted.
It was
I just
nothing.
like, I was expecting more, like more. I was expecting them to have more fun with this. Instead, this reminds me of just Bay's Transformers, where
Mm.
like, I mean, I find enjoyment out of them because they're so dumb. I'd
Those
say
are
that-
those are Fast and Furious dumb fun.
I'd say they're better than this. This was
Yeah.
just truly bad.
It was just a waste of my time. I don't think anyone should bother seeing it.
Honestly,
Yeah,
when you said
100%.
afterwards you had considered getting up and leaving, I went,
Yeah.
I probably would have done the same.
I did
Oh,
like
if we were gonna get, I would have come.
if we
Yeah.
weren't podcasting afterwards, I might have
Yeah.
left and gone home.
Also, I gotta say, the second we're like 10, 15 minutes into 10 films, like 5 to 10 minutes into this film, and it cuts to black, and there's an audio playing of a guy saying, "Welcome back to the podcast." I went, "Fuck's sake!" Everything is doing this now.
Yeah.
Everything is a podcast.
I was hurt.
It was so
as
average.
a fan of the other ones, or like I found enjoyment in the other ones.
Yeah.
More so 1 and 2, especially Kong. Kong's my favorite out of all of them because Kong knew how to have fun. Kong's
Kong is
characters
very fun.
weren't very deep, but they were likable at least.
Yeah, like I don't remember that movie well, but I remember John C. Reilly. I remember Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, I liked them. That was good.
Yeah, they had, and like the main villain in this film. I hate that Mechagodzilla's in this film. By the way, it reminds me so much.
It's such
of-
a hey, you guys came here for this, but
we're
what
gonna have
about
to fight-
this?
It was Batman
You
v
said-
Superman.
Yeah, Batman v Superman with Doomsday.
But Batman v
Yeah.
Superman's better than this. I
Mm.
like Batman v Superman way more than this film.
Yeah,
But this was just like, and Mechagodzilla didn't even look good visually.
no,
Like, I'm not talking about his design was
shocking.
Yeah.
awful. He looked weirdly skinny.
It was really thin.
But then on top of that, with the design already being bad, just the CG on it looked awful.
It just didn't hold up.
And
It-
then I mean,
I did notice some budget cutting, like corners cut as well. There was a shot just before you meet Skarsgård. There's a establishing shot of the university, and it's so vastly different, like in quality,
Than
that
the
I
rest
was
of the
like,
movie.
that is stock footage. That is
Right.
old stock footage.
Yeah.
Because it was like grainy and it looked terrible. And then it cut to inside and it was back to crisp, incredible HD.
Yeah. What did you want to say? Want to wrap this up?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, Alex. All right, the the Kong getting resuscitated for the big end fight. Now this is the big end,
Yeah.
because Kong. We haven't seen Kong against Mechagodzilla because Godzilla has just defeated Kong.
So
So wait a minute. What happened? So, Alex, run me through what happens. So Godzilla
Godzilla-
defeats Kong,
Yeah, Godzilla beats up Kong.
and then
pretty
what
much
happens?
kills him.
almost.
Oh,
Almost
no, he
kills
doesn't
him.
die. though.
Again,
No,
His
doesn't
heart
commit.
Is slowing.
his heart's slowing down, so he's almost dying. He's
Alright, so
slowly dying.
Kong's succumbing from his
Yep.
scratch wounds, his
Yep.
bashing,
Sure.
his like his open wounds. He's bleeding.
Yeah.
He's succumbing to his wounds, and his heart stops due to that.
Yeah.
And then what do?
We resuscitate him with a ship.
We restart his heart.
We restart his heart.
And then expect the
All of his wounds are
incredibly
healed, by
Just
the way.
resuscitated.
expect the incredibly injured Kong, who was just beaten by Godzilla, to then go and help beat the thing that's currently beating
Oh,
Godzilla.
for
Also, I
God's
love
sake.
just the dumbness of like, oh, Kong's heart's stopping. What do we do? Oh, like those medical paddles, electric.
Like
electric to the
CPR.
heart equals heart starts. So let's electrocute his heart.
I did
It was
look.
just-
If I was to say something was cool, I did think it was cool how Godzilla charged his axe when he hit Mechagodzilla.
That one moment.
I mean,
I
the
thought,
entire
I thought
axe
I
thing.
that-
find-
yeah, the axe was ridiculous.
So the other
Dude,
thing
I
that
laughed
the
when he
entire
put,
Hollow Earth, and then Kong
putting
fucking
the axe in the
thrown.
slot
Kong's,
made me laugh.
Kong's
Yeah.
wireless charger.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
Kong's wireless charger for the axe.
Yeah, anyway, can we move? Can
Yeah,
we
so
Yeah,
we
stop?
have
Sorry,
given too
stop.
much attention
Other
to
little
this
dumb
movie
things,
already.
Godzilla blasting a hole all the way through to Hollow Earth, and
Yeah.
then it just working like a tunnel and not needing any kind of
Not needing the big
dimension
gravitational
warping,
switch shit.
yeah, anything like that. It's like, oh, they can just yell at each other from
Yeah.
each side. Fucking
So
stupid.
they built up these cars to be these magical cars that can go through this thing, and then again, it's just.
And they do an
normal tunnel.
incredibly good visual when they go through it. I
Yeah.
thought that whole sequence was really cool.
Yeah, that
oh my
yeah.
god.
So half star,
yeah, half star.
1 star,
I want to give it a 1 now.
1 star, one and a half. my 1.5 comes
for
from
good,
watching
yeah.
the other films.
Fair enough.
Because
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
at
even
least have a
enjoy
little bit of attachment to
To
it,
Kong.
but I'm
I
still
hated
going to
it.
sit here
It's a
and say
once.
it's shit.
Yeah.
I also hated
I-
how they tried to humanize both Kong and Godzilla
Yeah.
with like emotions. As like you look at Godzilla
Did
and
Godzilla
like
smile at one point?
yeah,
Yeah.
so he like smiles at one point, and the part when he does charge up his axe, it's like him being like, "I've got you," and it's like,
As-
"What the?"
As someone who's
Anyway.
watched the other two Godzilla films, we've never gotten that much of a close up on Godzilla. It was weird.
It was
Yeah.
really weird.
Ugly.
Anyway, that's
Moving
just
on.
I want to talk
Moving on.
about a better film.
Yep.
So finally, guys, after a 4-year wait for me personally,
4 years.
we got it.
hours.
We got it. It was Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Snyder Cut hit streaming services last week. I've watched it all
You watched
3
it.
times.
3 now.
He's dedicated so many hours to this movie.
Chris, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Okay, but you've seen the other one, so you know the general.
You saw
story.
Justice League.
I haven't seen the others.
Oh, I thought you seen Justice League. I thought you watched.
Justice. Oh man, I do. You gotta
Did you
convince me
start
to
it?
watch the Marvel movies, and then you want me to watch Justice League, and that villain, his main motivation is he wants to destroy.
Wait,
It's like,
have you
So-
seen?
What?
Have you seen? Have you seen the other Justice League, the one that came out a few years ago?
No.
Oh, I
No.
thought you had. Braden, you've
I've
both
seen
now.
all this stuff.
Steph,
It's-
you are
yeah.
2
Seen-
hours
I'm
into
2 hours
Snyder
in.
Cut.
2 hours. In.
Unpopular opinion. No.
Are you
Not
fine with
interested.
spoilers then?
Yeah, you can spoil it.
So,
that's
So no spoilers to start with initially.
yeah, let's talk about this because
This whole thing is history in film
well,
for how weird it is.
we all had a feeling we get the Snyder Cut one day, never this soon. Everyone thought in about 20 minutes. You all right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's still going.
Is it still going?
I'm gonna double check.
All right. Well, for those who don't know anything about Snyder Cut, I'll give you a quick update. And basically, what happened was Zack Snyder, he made Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman came out, bad reviews. A lot of people didn't like Batman v Superman.
It was
personally-
very
It
torn.
was very divisive. I personally thought it was fine. There's some stuff in it I thought was extremely stupid, but moving on.
Yes.
And so when that got bad reviews, they were already deep into production of
Justice League.
Justice League. And
2017.
Yeah, Justice League 2017. Snyder filming it. And then
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak happened. In post-production, Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide. So him and
So-
both his wife was a major producer on the film.
Mm.
His daughter Autumn committed suicide. So they did the right thing where they stepped back and said, we need to spend
They
time
said
with our
we
family.
can't work on this
We
right
can't
now.
work on this right now. We need to spend time with our family.
Which everyone was very understanding about.
And Warner Brothers
Except for
saw
Warner
this as an
Brothers.
opportunity to go, well, no one liked Batman v Superman. That was dark, and people didn't like how dark these movies
People
are.
like Marvel movies.
That people like Marvel. Marvel were doing it. That's hire the guy who did 2 Avengers films to come in
Mm.
and fix this film, and they fucked it.
Known Creepazoid.
Yeah,
Joss Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Joss.
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
Joss.
Uh,
Joss. Like gross.
Yeah.
What did he
So-
direct?
Avengers.
Buffy.
Ah.
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, yes, the best
Buffy.
2 of the series.
The
Yeah.
entirety of Buffy.
So they got him to come in and reshoot.
And ruin it.
So they did
reshot-
reshoots, which also then it ended up with the Henry Cavill mustache.
80% of the film got reshot to make it funnier, to make it more lighthearted, to make Steppenwolf worse.
So
This-
let's talk about how much they cut. Because originally Zack Snyder was looking at maybe a 3-hour film, wasn't he? He was looking at like it was going to be a long film.
I think
It's gonna be like
it would have
Endgame
been
level.
3:15. I think it would have been longer than 3 hours.
Yeah, it would have been around like Endgame level, where it's this big
and
epic.
also WB gave a mandate when they went back to do the reshoots. They said this movie can't be over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
They locked that. This wasn't a creative person from Josh Whedon.
insane.
Joss Whedon. Sorry, I always put the H on the M. There wasn't him going, yeah, I can do this in 2 hours. It was the studio going, this can't be longer than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because most Avengers films aren't longer than 2 hours.
So
No one wants, and we want this.
So all this fleshed out story and this fleshed out character development and this understanding of what's going on
Had to be compressed.
had to be completely cut.
Yeah. So
Like there's half this film. It's literally half the film.
yeah. So you can watch the other one twice
Yeah.
when you
Jesus.
watch this.
Oh God.
So that's just talk about.
Let's get into
I
actual.
really enjoy this movie. I like it every more time I watch it. I'm even on the verge to say I love this movie.
Okay.
It's not Man of Steel for me. Man of Steel will always be my favorite in this franchise. I love Cavill. I love Cavill's Superman.
Henry Cavill's Superman is incredible.
But Man of Steel will be one of my favorite superhero films in general. This is a very close second. It would be Man of Steel, this Shazam. My order
Okay,
of
yeah.
these films
Wow.
so far.
And then Suicide Squad.
It's it's baffling. it's truly baffling how much they just got rid of, how much they knew they had, and they went, we don't need to put this in there
Yeah.
because Cyborg. This is the biggest thing.
So this is why Ray Fisher was such a
Yeah.
big proponent in everyone who then got behind being like, we want the Snyder Cut. Ray Fisher being such a forward movement in that being like, yeah, I want the Snyder Cut. I'm basically not in this film anymore.
It's the generic thing to say because everyone who has reviewed this movie has said it, but it's true. He's the heart and soul of the movie.
Mm.
He has the biggest arc. He has the most character development in this film. In the Justice League, whatever we're going to call it.
Justice League.
Yep, that. He has no backstory. Basically, his character development is, I hate my dad because he turned me into a machine. Or he goes, oh, I look horrible, like I'm a machine.
Yeah.
Which is in this, but it's better.
But it's fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they explain it all so much better. He gives reasoning why, and you see scenes that explain why.
Steppenwolf, my goodness.
Steppenwolf,
what an improvement.
So Steppenwolf, like what you said, where like bad guy being, I want to destroy everything.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
like, that's
Steppenwolf
it.
just pops into the original version. Don't know why he comes.
There's zero
He-
explanation.
There's no explanation why he just shows up randomly in Themyscira.
Mm.
He just
He shows up and steals these squares.
Yeah, he shows up and takes these mother boxes, and he says "mother" a lot.
Yeah,
And yeah, so he just shows up and he just wants to destroy Earth. Pretty much, that's his.
that's
reasoning.
all you can gather,
Wants to destroy.
So in this film, we find out that he is Darkseid's uncle.
which is hilarious.
Darkseid is the big bad. He's the Thanos of the DC universe.
There is a moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League where I said it out loud for Darkseid because Darkseid didn't say it because it would have been too on the nose. He basically had a moment where he was like, "I'll do it myself."
Yeah. So we find out that Steppenwolf is Darkseid's uncle.
He was a failure.
Darkseid is the Lord. He's pretty much like he controls a world, and he basically goes around. He has his minions, and they destroy worlds, and they're looking for something.
Mm.
And so Steppenwolf betrays Darkseid at some point earlier, and we basically learn that he has a debt of 50,000 worlds. Steppenwolf owes Darkseid 50,000 worlds.
So they've
He's
been
gotta
going
destroy
world by
and
world,
conquer.
destroying all
Yeah.
these places, trying to find this thing that they found yonks ago.
And in this film, we find out the reason why Steppenwolf comes to Earth now is because when Superman dies at the end of Batman v Superman, he lets out a scream, and these mother boxes go. It's like a screen.
it's safe now.
scream. It's a screen that travels the world. So the opening credits of this film is just watching this ripple sound wave, and you see the Atlanteans
I
underwater.
really liked that.
Yeah,
Said
you-
this here. I really liked the use of sound in that.
You
opening
see
scene.
the
Fun fact: 10% of this film is in slow motion.
you see the Atlanteans underwater go. What was that? You see the Themyscira, like the
You
Amazons
see everyone.
go. Oh my
react.
god! And then these boxes activate because the boxes go. Hey, no Kryptonians here
No
anymore.
Kryptonian. We are free
Like-
to destroy the
Like,
fuck out
let's
of this
go.
place.
There's no one here more powerful than we are.
Yeah.
Let's get Earth now.
Which
Makes sense, doesn't
explains
it?
why he shows up
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that happens. So we find, and Steppenwolf just wants to go home. He wants to redeem
Steppenwolf is like, I am a failure. I need to redeem myself.
to
If I can
Darkseid.
find this, Darkseid won't hate me anymore.
Yeah.
And he'll accept me back as part of his army and part of his family.
So that's what we find about Steppenwolf. It's
Yeah,
great.
he has
It's
character
great.
development.
Cyborg is great. The Flash's intro in this film, which is something we saw in the trailers
Yeah, which
leading
is
up to this. Not the trailers for Zack Snyder's Justice League. The trailers back in 2016 for this movie. These were in the so much of the footage that's in this movie that wasn't in the 2017 cut were in the trailers leading up to the 2017 cut that we never saw. So the Flash's intro being one of them, which was people are going to complain because there's a lot of songs in the film that people don't understand the use of.
Zack Snyder loves his music.
Yeah, I love the Flash's intro where everything slows down. You see his shoes just disintegrate.
Yeah, because it's like he doesn't have his suit on.
Yeah, he's so fast that he just runs out of it. His shoes just dissolve.
He's also running
Right, yeah.
incredibly awkwardly. He is not at any point in this section like good at what he does yet. He is still learning what the fuck is happening. And he full on like he like awkwardly like hobbles along.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And you know what? I didn't like Ezra Miller in the other one. I
Oh,
thought
he
his
was
jokes were
insufferable.
awful. When he lands on Wonder Woman and then he awkwardly gets up and does a really bad.
Sweden's
bad jokes that they-
sexist horribleness.
About they did also did an Age of Ultron with the Hulk Black Widow.
Yeah.
So the Flash's intro was great when he's saving Iris from the car crash.
Yeah.
I mean, even Aquaman is redeemed in this.
Yeah,
Aquaman-
Aquaman is so much better in this movie.
Yeah, you get and it ties more well into It ties better into
Fucking
Aquaman.
Willem Dafoe's in this
Willem
movie.
Dafoe's, yeah,
With long hair.
and Mira. Like I mean, I don't like Amber Heard.
yeah.
But when she uses bloodbending on Steppenwolf, so cool.
Oh my god, I was so not
So
ready for it.
Mira's
This
got-
film is so much more
So
violent.
Mira's got this power where she can draw the moisture out of anyone, out
So-
of anything.
Okay.
So
So-
she goes up to Steppenwolf's face, and you see all this water that he's been inhaling because he doesn't actually have to breathe. So all this water has gotten into his like lungs and his stomach, but he's fine because he's an alien.
And to fight him,
And so
just
she
starts-
pulls the water out, but then his blood starts
coming
coming out,
and he's
and
just
it's
like,
awesome.
and he was just like, ah, shit, and just throws her. So yeah, a lot of this movie, so, the action's better. Wonder Woman's intro is better with Bruce
Oh,
Bolton.
the really
Is it
fleshed
Bruce-
out heist
which Game
scene.
of Thrones guy is it? Is
Oh,
it
bomb
Bruce,
scene.
is Bruce Bolton that rocks up?
Michael
He's the
Bolton.
bank robber. No, it's Lannister.
Tywin Lannister?
Nah, it's not
No.
Tywin. It's not Charles Dance.
No,
This
no.
is
Sorry,
the
the other one.
time.
No, Baratheon.
Jack
No.
Sparrow.
I don't know. It's the Game of Thrones actor. Rocks up, and it's her scene's so much better. I like the format. A lot of people don't like the 4x3.
Stannis?
Stannis. No, it's not Stannis.
Thanos.
I think it's Bruce
Yeah.
Bolton. You see more top and bottom. That's
Yes.
it. So it's 4x3, but that's so you can see top and bottom. He's just released Batman v Superman.
same way?
A remastered. Not every sequence, but a lot of them are now
Okay,
4x3 again, like the Nightmare sequence. At least, I mean, I'm hyping it, but I got to say
We're
that
jumping around a
there are
bit.
definitely things that I would cut out. I'd cut out the women singing after Aquaman gets in the water.
That goes for a really
Yeah,
long time.
I cut that out, and I have cut that out in the Alex cut.
In the Alex cut. Alexander Lamb's.
It's Alex Lamb's, Zack
Snyder's
Snyder's
Justice League.
Justice League. I've cut out the women singing. I've cut out the
Not
Martian.
all of it, have you?
Yeah,
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
You're not even like leave a little bit in?
it just cuts to Martha in the grave. I'll show you.
Fair enough.
I've cut out Martian Manhunter's revealed to be Martha because I think that scene actually works better when it's not Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, that made it more confusing.
Yeah.
Because that made it go, oh, this is something they added in extra.
And I cut out the last 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
I cut
the
out
epilogue.
everything. I cut out the epilogue's still
After
there.
the
Superman-
montage.
Yeah, Superman opens his thing, so I cut out the nightmare sequence. I cut out Martian Manhunter talking to Batman, and I cut out Lex and Deathstroke.
Even that one. Oh, well, it's setting up a movie that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So, fair enough.
So yeah, I love the film.
Okay.
Thought it was so much better.
I'll have to chime in when I finish watching it. Next time we talk about it on the show, I'll be able to come in with my thoughts.
And Black Suit Superman's awesome, and so much more Alfred.
Yes, I loved how much more Alfred we got. I love Jeremy Irons. He's
Jeremy Irons
excellent.
is Alfred.
Alfred is so good. He's so
Scar.
witty and smart.
I do like
The
Alfred.
guy that
from what
voices
I've seen.
Scar in Lion King.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when Superman shows up to fight Steppenwolf, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's
oh
just
my
like-
god. So the Steppenwolf fight at the end is almost
Yeah.
completely different.
It's awesome
Because-
in the original one, it's just Wonder Woman fighting him. In this one,
Yeah.
they're all there,
and in the
and
original,
the Flash has so much more to do at the end.
you get that moment in the original where when Superman shows up, he has that really corny line about his old school saying of like truth, justice, and the American way.
He's just like, I'm not. He goes, I'm more fan of justice.
I'm a big
myself."
fan of justice.
And then I won't spoil it for Steph because Steph loves a sassy Superman.
I do
Yeah.
like it.
His
I've
line is
never
very
seen
sassy.
any
oh
sassy-
yeah, he's
I
so
haven't seen
good.
anything from the DC universe except for
voice.
the Dark Knights and
Okay.
except for Christian Bale's Batman and the Suicide Squad. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen any Man of Steel. I've seen Wonder Woman 1984. so
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I've had really good experiences so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
So that's just guys.
That's Alex's opinion on
Yeah,
Justice
that's
League.
it.
yeah.
yeah.
It's everyone. Sorry, we got to move. We're at 53 minutes.
Yeah,
I
well,
re-
we
I
gotta
really,
do trailer
really-
game.
I really liked it. My main issues were things that they added and chopped and changed. Especially the Martian Manhunter reveal at the end. Martian Manhunter, I
You
feel
know that was meant to be.
I know.
Joel Stewart's Green Lantern.
meant to be
But
Green
WB
Lantern.
said we have our own plans for Green Lantern. Do not put him in this.
Yeah, which is I'm so happy that Zack Snyder just said that in an interview. And WB probably went, "The fuck."
Yeah.
I mean, they're not paying him,
And
so
it makes me mad that they go out and make shit like Godzilla vs Kong, but they won't now finish his Justice League movies.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
Anyway,
Do you feel better having got that off your chest now? Everything.
yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Are you ready?
yep. Trailer
The rest
game.
of us will give our thoughts on Justice League another time.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the trailer game. The last one before big episode 100. This is the big one here. Braden's going to fill us in on the scores in a second, but I've got Chris here.
Hello.
Braden,
Hi.
Steph.
Yep.
So if you're new to the trailer game, episode 99, get on board. Basically what happens is I have 3 trailers. I'll be playing the audio only. When I play the audio, each contestant gets a chance to buzz in. When they buzz in, they get to answer. If they're right, you will hear If they're wrong, you will hear.
Scores are Alex on 2, Braden on 7, Michael on 9, Steph and Chris tied for first place at 11.
Beautiful. Here we
Beautiful.
This is
go.
really
intro.
scary, actually.
I had to cut the intro by telling you how good the intro was because that's customary now.
Oh, thank you, man.
Do you think the trailers? You have to give us a hint, but do you think the trailers are tipped in anyone's favour today?
No, but everyone should be able to get them today.
Okay,
I
okay.
went for a win.
It went
This is
for
scary. I don't do well under
I didn't-
pressure.
I didn't
You're
wanna
gonna
go
get
there.
because there's 3. Even
Yeah.
if it's only between you two,
Yep.
someone will win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been to a lot of movies this week. It's an easy one.
All right. Are we ready for trailer number 1?
Here we go.
Today is a day for truth. The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands.
That is Justice League 2017.
It is not.
Oh.
It's done the thing where it's just going to do them again.
Reset.
Today
Okay, that's fine.
is a day
I
for
thought
truth.
I thought it was the old trailer where she's. Oh no, that's a Batman v.
The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands for. That kind of power is very dangerous.
I don't want to answer just in case I was led on by his little slip. So I'm not sure if I should.
You get a
I
point.
feel. I know,
Yeah.
but that feels like a cheat.
No,
it feels like a cheat.
Nah, that's on me. That's on
we
me.
could just give it to Brayden. We
No.
could give it
No.
to
Hey,
no.
you fucked up.
No,
You
no,
get
no,
the
I
point.
fucked
it's
up.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of just sort of buzzed in to say like we could just
Yeah.
skip it because
But no,
I don't want to take the point for that.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
All right.
That's okay. I never would have
leading
guessed
by
that.
1.
I
Trailer
never-
2. Let's go.
I don't think I should get the point.
Trailer
Give
2.
it to
let's
Alex.
go.
Got it.
I'll
You've
take.
got it
I'll
now.
take the point. Whatever.
Alex
will
gets
take
the point. That's Aladdin, the live action one.
Yeah,
There
that
you go.
was
Thinking something along those
Arabian
lines.
Nights
Yeah.
playing. in
Yeah, the
back.
second that musical cue started, I went, oh, I know what that is now.
Oh, that one decides to do the thing where it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
replay. All right. Last trailer.
Oh,
Should I just sit
yeah,
back
you,
and...
got, you sit back.
All right.
oh, I don't like.
Because I can't win this at all, so...
Yeah.
This is too.
Okay.
You don't know what this is, do you? Aztec gold. The heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse.
It's. I don't know which one it is. I don't know the names of any of them. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which one?
The first one.
What's it called?
Is it good? I'm not going to give you unless
Can
you
you
give
tell
the
me
full
what they're
name.
all called? And I'll tell you which
No.
one the first one is. The
Chris, do
Curse
you know
of
the
the
full
Black
name?
Pearl. The Curse of the Black Pearl.
She got it.
Can you restart that camera too?
Well done,
Is that what it's
Steph.
called? That's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Well
I had no
done.
idea. What are
Today.
the others called?
Good work.
Dead
It's a
Men
day.
Tell
Yeah,
Tales?
no, oh, that is one.
That's like the
Dead
fourth
Man's
That's the
one,
Chest.
fifth
isn't it?
one.
Dead Man's Chest
Dead Man's
on Stranger
Chest.
Tides.
The world needs
Ah. See, now I feel like a
And
fake. I
then
feel like a
I've worked
phony.
it.
We don't talk about number 4.
I fluked my way out
On
of that.
Stranger's Tide, yeah.
I have like Aztec on. Like, this is a pirates, but I couldn't tell you what they're all called. You made me sit through them all, one after the other.
Yeah, don't act like that was bad.
It was just like at that time of night.
Well,
Hey, the first 2 hold up. Well, the first 3
They're,
hold
they're
up.
all
what am I
really
mean?
good.
I was
really
going to
like
say,
them.
the original trilogy is
Yeah.
excellent.
so Steph, you're the winner.
Steph
Yeah, I
on
kind of actually
12.
sabotaged myself there because I don't want this win at all.
Yeah, so you're going
Yeah,
into the
wow.
I do.
So now you have to play against everyone next week.
Steph against Steph.
I mean, my family's coming. They don't know anything, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
But you
I'm
play
sorry.
against-
I'm sorry. The Golden Boy had nothing. I had nothing.
You got nothing
today.
this week.
I'm
Then you
sorry.
did a Michael.
I did.
Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening to Millennial Movie Talk episode 99. Triple digits next week, guys. It's big for us. If you haven't heard yet, we're doing it in front of a live audience of our
Live
family and
studio
friends.
audience from
yeah.
downtown South Adelaide.
Definitely gonna feel like
Adelaide.
it's definitely
Well,
gonna
yeah.
it's definitely gonna feel like on Christmas where like your whole family's there and
That's
then the
really
kids want to
awkward.
perform.
It's really
The
awkward.
kids want to like
Oh,
oh
look at this dance routine we made
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna feel
essentially
like
that.
that. But we're all 23 and it's a bit sadder.
It's really sad.
So that's gonna be interesting. Excited for that, but also we'll see how it goes. I think it's just gonna be a bit of fun at worst.
Yeah.
I
It'll,
think
it'll be
a lot
something
of fun.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris has got some things set up for us.
Yep, sure.
Keen.
Thank you all for listening to this episode. Make sure to check us out on all the audio platforms we are. Those including Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, over at anchor.fm/Millennial Movie Talk, and then even on the website, we'll show you where you can listen to us if you have any confusion.
You
with
use
that.
some other random ass podcast app.
Yeah, weirdo. Check us out on our YouTube. We post. If you don't want to listen to a full episode, which you made it this far, so thank you. We also will cut out the important parts of our show and put them singular.
If you want to share them with a friend, you're like, I want to share the Kong review with someone.
I want to hear these guys shit on Kong because apparently everyone's giving it good reviews. So weird. Yeah, check us out on there. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon if you want to chuck us a buck or two. That would be nice. We love that. And for the love of God, he's not here.
Big shout out to the Patreon who we actually give shout outs to.
Yeah,
now.
what's his name, Braden?
Let me find it. 1 second.
It's
our first time doing it.
While Braden's finding that, I'll remind everyone to do the tradition of the show, which is to add Michael on Facebook.
Cannot stress this.
This is such an important part of our show.
We say it every time.
He really needs
really
to support
worry,
People don't
guys.
take it. I don't think people take it seriously. They think it's a joke.
Guys,
actually.
he's not here this week to downplay it, but he really needs the support. So everyone, can you please go over and just, add him, and then maybe send him a message saying, "Hey, Michael, hope everything's okay. Keep up.
Hey,
the good
how you
work."
doing? How was your day?
Just even a hi. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Because
That works
fuck,
fine.
I'm not gonna. So
Is this someone that we don't know?
Yeah, this is someone we don't know.
This is
Really?
this
That's
is
so exciting.
This is our friend from Canada. I'm trying to find their details. I can't find it
Do you want me
anywhere.
to
Well,
find it?
Let me find it.
hey, we're really glad you tuned into the show today.
Here we are.
Sorry about paying us money.
Here
We're
we are.
sorry. We're sorry
Thank
you had to hear the review
Oh
today.
my god, we're just asking them to cancel their membership. Thank you
13
so much.
Canada.
Thank you so much, Mark Fleer, who is on our tier, for getting a shout out on the show. You support us
We love you,
so
Mark.
much.
I don't
You're the
think-
best.
I don't think Canadian money
Mark.
is real anyway, to be
Oh,
honest.
give us
Did
more
you say
Canada.
Canada? Did you just call it Canada?
No, is it Canadian money?
Give us some more.
I don't think it's real. So
Give us
we
some
might
more
wanna check.
Canada, eh?
I was gonna say,
From
so
South Park.
that means they're at our indie cult classic level.
What do they get on the Indie Old Classic,
Indie
Braden?
Cult Classic. That's Steph tier.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through our tiers because I don't think we've ever talked about it on
No,
the
let's
show.
talk
but we
about
should.
it.
Yeah.
I named these and I'm really happy about them, and no one has really seen them since. So for $1 a month, you can join our home video tier. Our home video tier is how you get access to all of our behind the scenes bonus content stuff. Pre-show, post-show, whatever random shit we end up doing. I think if you sift around on there, there's footage of Alex working a claw machine from like 2 years ago.
Oh, no, I want a claw machine.
claw
and then
machine?
I gave it to a little kid who was watching.
Gave it to a little kid. It was
Oh, that was
beautiful.
nice.
Oh, that's wholesome.
And you get our ever-loving support, and thanks for helping support us.
Yeah.
Then $3 a month, you get the direct-to-DVD tier. That's where you get access to all of our movie commentaries and everything.
That we got to do more.
There's our full back catalog though. There's so many
Yeah.
films there.
And put that on there is that you will get access to early access to MMT After Dark.
Yes, MMT After Dark, which is a new thing that's happening. You get early access to that.
So basically, if you want to check out MMT After Dark, they will eventually be coming out on Spotify and the same services as this, even YouTube now. Basically, though, if you're on Patreon, you'll get it a week early. Basically, Chris and I choose a movie each week.
Do a deep dive.
Yeah, we do a deep dive into that movie that we choose.
Cool.
And then Indie Cult Classic has all the things from before, and you get thanked on the show.
Go, Mark.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
And then there are other things
Legend.
as well, like for $20 a month, you get so that was our Indie Cult Classic tier. Then you get the Oscar-worthy tier, where if you want to advertise something on our show, we'll advertise it for you.
Manscaped.
If you want to give us a script or
Well, I
something,
personally will
$50 a
advertise
month.
it for
Alex
you.
will have your logo tattooed on his body.
No.
and you
but
can be
I
on
will
an
wear-
episode of the show.
I will
And I
wear
will
a
tattoo it.
post-it note with your advertisement on my forehead for the show.
The final tier is the box office blockbuster,
Yeah.
which is $50 a month, where you can just be on an episode of the show.
Yeah.
But
you
we're not
can be
paying
on
for your
the show.
flights over here.
No,
No, Zoom.
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 Freaking, we're
Oh.
living in a post-COVID society
Come on,
here.
Alright,
you ain't gonna
alright.
get access to my backyard. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
$100 he can. $100 you can come live with me.
We'll,
for a night.
we'll add that tier if you would like.
$100 you can come over here.
minimum like 2 years membership.
For a hundo, you can come here, pick a movie, and we'll watch it with you.
With or without, sorry, Alex's hand gently resting on your knee.
On your knee. you can
That's an
come-
extra $5.
On your
okay.
knee, upper thigh. You pay me $100. I get very flexible.
That hand, yeah.
Very flexible.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks
Thank
for
you
listening.
so much if you're still here.
Probably
If
our
some-
best Patreon plug we've had yet.
I know, we should probably cut this out and actually put it somewhere else. Oh, well, it's fine.
Upper thigh, hour and 4 minutes. Bit longer than we wanted to, but fine.
Especially when we're trying
I'm
to cut
Steph.
it shorter.
I'm Alex. She really wanted to end that. Thank you all for listening. And as always, I'm Alex.
I'm Christian.
I'm Braden.
I'm Steph.
And we're out of here.